Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining me.
No problem.
Are you
Hi,
well?
Ben. I'm very good, thank you.
Cool. So I thought now's probably a good time to have another interview because of your 30K in revenue for
Yeah,
the month,
yeah.
which was pretty mad to see. So yeah, I just wanted to have a chat with you, get your thoughts and things, see how progress has been going. And just for the viewers who are watching, Chris and I did do an interview last year in Birmingham for the Dropship Formula meetup. It was the first meetup, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And it was a cool meetup. The interview was good, but unfortunately, the autofocus on my camera started going mental. So the whole thing is kind of unwatchable. So I thought, might as well leave it and I can interview Chris at another time. And so here we are. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you, so the 30K, has that just ramped up really quickly, or has that slowly been working up? Was it sort of 20K,
Uh,
25K? How's the progress been recently?
well, about 3 months ago, it was about, I think it was about 7. And
Hmm.
that was really good. It was quite good, especially because of lockdown. And I think I only had one supplier and I was spending £2, £3, very few in ad spend every day.
Hmm.
And I didn't know how much to spend, you see, because it was like a tricky moment, and a lot of the suppliers wasn't running, and I didn't know what it would be buying. So I didn't really spend much. I was a bit conservative. I probably now, thinking about it, I wish I upped the ad spend, but I was really careful. So I did seven K that month. And then the following month, I did 20, which was like, before that, my all-time best was 12, and that was like a Black Friday month.
Hmm.
So when I did 20, I thought, wow, that's massive. But after that, this month, because I've got a bit more money to play with, I thought I'd experiment a little, and I opened the ads. I've optimized the Google Ads, so I thought I'll just open it up a bit more, the daily budget, and ramp it up. And with all the my products, what was selling well,
Yeah.
just up the bids. But to be honest, I made actually over 40K, but I had 10K in like out of stock items. At the minute, I'm having stock issues.
Yeah. And so, was there the amount of extra um, cost per click that you put in? Did you see a sort of relative amount of sales increase?
Yes, yes, more in generic, in like not so much in like on the sales funnel. I do like a generic first, which is just like someone typing a generic search word, and then I have brand names, and then after that I have the actual product name. So I do it as a 3-tier campaign, and it's more in the generic which really took off.
Really?
So I don't know whether I was being too conservative in the first place with my ad budget, so I don't really know. I've just been testing it.
Because at the moment, I've got my Google Shopping set up the same as you, and I hardly put any money towards generic. I get a
Yeah.
bit worried about it because I wasn't seeing, when I first started, I wasn't seeing many conversions at all. So I've kind of put it quite low and forgotten about it. So how much was the bid increase that you put into it?
Uh, on the most, to be honest, I've fine tuned it quite a bit, because I used to sell products which would even uh, make me 30, 40 pound, 50 pound profit, and then I realized that it was costing me so much, like between 35 to the late 50s, 60s, 60 pound to make in ad spend on that for that sale.
Hmm.
So I decided, I'm going nowhere here. I'm just, straight. So I decided to get rid of the smaller items, which wouldn't make me as much money,
Hmm.
and just focus on the ones which would be like over 100 minimum in profit.
Yeah, makes sense.
And
Makes
then
sense.
I just ramped it up. I think because normally it was, for me, I was doing about 20p for generic 20, but then I ramped it up to like 70. Well,
Oh,
no, actually
really?
50.
Hmm. That might be something I need to look into at some point. I want to get a
Yeah, I
few
might
more
be
sales
changing
in,
that.
but
Yeah, it's just a test at the minute. I might. It's really, but the problem is at the minute it's gone from 35 per conversion to 55. But I'm still
okay,
making quite a bit. I'm still making more money, so it's a bit of swings and roundabouts at the minute.
okay.
So
Yeah,
I might
that
be making 55, but I make more sales and a lot higher profit sales as well.
hmm, okay. That's interesting. Um, so would you say that the lockdown has any effect on your sales? Have you noticed a sort of correlation between sales
Uh,
increase?
well, for the first month, it wasn't really anything, but then again, I didn't have any suppliers, and then the supplies started running again. And I suppose because everybody's at home and they're not going shopping, or to the stores, I suppose, yes. And then especially they can have an home delivery service, because normally people at work and they can't accept the goods, whereas they know they're going to be in. So I don't know whether it's that, or I'm sure it's got something to do with that, or I wasn't putting my bids high enough, or my
Right,
ad
okay.
budget. My ad, because I was running out of ad budget, and and Google kept asking me to, you know, give them more money. So that's what I did.
Classic Google. Um,
Mm.
I have a question for you about profit margins, simply because a lot of people do like to know with drop shippers um, where your profit margins are roughly. I know it'll vary from supplier to supplier, but
Mm.
generally, what are you looking at? Um,
For my top suppliers, normally about 32 to 37.
yeah, that's pretty good for drop shipping, then, isn't
Mm.
it? And
Some products
especially,
which I've got some products which aren't, but then I don't really advertise them really, unless it's a
mm,
really big product, big order.
right, okay, I got you.
So a few items I have as 20, but they're quite big orders, so it still makes it okay.
It's worth it, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, mine sit between 20 and 40. Lots of things sort of come into play. Delivery charge, depending on where the person lives as well, can make a difference on the profit um, per sale. Um, I remember in our last interview, I remember asking you about, you know, uh, at some point you'd want to leave the 9 to 5 and
Yeah,
make this your full um, your full time sort of job. And you said on the Facebook group for Dropship Formula that consistency is the next thing for you. So I just wanted to
Yes.
know what your steps are towards consistency. If you've got any sort of
Mm.
goals.
I'm just by testing everything and trying to keep it all going, and it's stock. I want to see consistency is, well, carry on what I'm doing, because I think I'm quite experienced enough now to know roughly what I'm doing. But I just want to make sure I don't want to leave my job too early, because it's a crazy time at the minute. And
Mm,
if it was like a normal time, I would probably do it, but I want to see how it does when it goes back to normal. So, I mean, what one day, just what I had one crazy day this month where I did over 6,000 in orders, and
mm.
that one day I made more than 2 months, at my normal job.
Wow, that's crazy. Have you considered outsourcing some of the work, having like a virtual assistant or something like that?
I do have someone working for me.
Ah, okay. And
Yes, I've got a virtual assistant what uploads my products.
okay, it's just uploading products. Then it's not the sort of day-to-day management of the
No,
of the
no,
business.
I don't trust anyone for that. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, yeah, I feel the same actually. Yeah,
Mm.
fair enough. Um, so another question for you regarding your competition. I'm just curious as to what are you doing to stand out from your competition? And I know that you said that the the price of your products are generally higher, aren't they, than your competition? You're not sort of having a fight to the bottom with regards to pricing. I was just wondering
Yeah.
if you've got a higher price, what is it do you think that makes you stand out?
I think I've built a lot of trust, and I've got a lot of reviews now on my products. Uh,
Okay.
and also, I've made my store really like very. I spent a lot of time making my store look really, really professional. So it's not just like a really cheap looking with a not. I've focused a lot on branding. So I think my logo and everything, and then I've built the store color scheme around the logo.
Mm,
I've it's it's not a tacky logo. I went on 99 designs. I've got a professional logo,
mm,
uh, and then I think it just looks really good, and it's something you would see from like one of the big brands walking. Say if you was on the high street and you're seeing like a big brand, I think it's as good as that. So it gives a lot of trust.
okay. And
I've got my phone number at the top of the page. But another reason is why I do have high product prices is because uh, it's still, I've had quite a few people on the phone saying, oh, I've seen it cheaper somewhere else, but then they're still gone with me.
mm,
I don't know why. I think probably because it is the trust thing. And then I've leave my phone number so people can see it. A lot of people even have the address, like the contact page, and they don't have where they are located. There's no address. So that's another thing what's bad for people. And then
mm,
also, when I want to get new suppliers, first thing a new supplier does is look on the web page and they compare your prices with the other suppliers.
yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, they're not going to want to have somebody representing their brand who's just undercutting everybody and having that race to the bottom mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is a good point. Um, with regards to, you said you made your website look professional. Is that something that you've done yourself, or have you paid somebody, a developer, to change it? Or
Yeah, I've done it myself. Yeah, basically. I've done a lot of like collections, and just I've made it very user friendly, so people can find the way around. very easy. And I've gone for quite a minimal look and feel to it. So it's not nice, clean and modern. A lot of people, of my competitors, there's everything on there. It looks too busy. And I
Yeah,
don't like that.
same. Yeah, I've got competitors like that. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think um, is your next big step towards getting maybe 40K in sales? I know you're aiming for consistency now, but is
Mm.
there any plans you've got in place?
I would be happy at just doing what I am doing, to be honest. But yeah, 40K. I mean, I did do 40K if it wasn't for the stock
Yeah,
issues.
yeah,
But
yeah.
uh, yeah, I'll be happy at just 30. But it's just consistency is what I want.
Mm.
And then finding more products what seem to start doing well, and then building around that. So, but I've done a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. So it's been a roller coaster, and I've learned a lot of lessons. So every failure, I've always took something away from that.
What,
So it's been
what's
really good.
okay? What's a, I guess a big mistake that you've learned from that might help others who are in a similar position?
Uh, I've mostly on the Google ads where I was advertising stuff where I wasn't really making any money,
Mm.
and I was just trying to sell everything and advertise everything what I had on there. But it's just not really the right thing to do.
Yeah, I know Simon helped you
Mm.
with your Google ads. Did he help you sort of really dig into the data? Because that's quite a daunting task, digging into the
Yes,
data, isn't it?
at the start, because when I first joined the Dropship Formula, I was another course, the Dropship Lifestyle, but
Mm.
they didn't at the time. I don't know if it's different now, but at the time, it was just this is Google AdWords. This is how you set it up. Off you go.
Yeah.
So all I had before Simon had a look, it was just generic. It was just one thing. You know what I mean? With some certain products, or I don't even know. Yeah, probably. I think I might have had it by brands. That was it, and then I might add products, different products, segmented. I'm not
Mm.
sure, but it was just generic, and then he showed me how to build the sales funnel. But then it was Google AdWords, then not Google Ads.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Um, I guess um, for people who are interested in starting dropshipping in the UK, what advice would you give to them to get started to maybe, reach the point that you're at now?
Just don't give up. There's been many times I felt like giving up. It's
Mm.
definitely a roller coaster. But then one day you'll be like, oh, I've spent all this money and I've just had a few returns, and then I've got to, it's all going pear shaped, and then the following day you'll do like a really good day in sales. It's crazy. So just don't give up, and especially at the start, because you put in a lot of money into it, and after your time, and if nothing's happening, you feel like just you're a bit demoralized, and you feel like
Mm.
oh, it's not for me. But I'm just a bit stubborn, so never gave up.
So being stubborn is a good trait to have for dropshipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So many times I've
Mm.
really wanted to pack it in. But you're right, it is a roller coaster, and it is
Mm.
actually overall quite enjoyable. Um, Getting that first
Yeah.
cha-ching from
I
Shopify.
mean, at the very start, when Simon offered to have a look at my AdWords and go through it,
Mm.
this is why he was still developing the course. He was living in Thailand at the time, so I would have to. So I says, right, what time do you want to meet up? And I says, well, I'll get up before work. So I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so I wanted to get the knowledge so bad. So I was sacrificing enough to make it happen.
Yeah, that's commitment right there. Waking up at 5. Yeah, fair play to you, Chris. Anyway, I think we covered enough there. Maybe we'll have an interview in the future, and we'll be talking about your 400k in sales.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for that, mate. I'll catch you later.
All right. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.